Doctor Who Memories, Season 24. Hello and welcome to this week's video, a follow-up to the memories I did a few weeks ago with Revenge of the Cybermen. This time around I thought I'd do Season 24. Now, I hope this works because I've already recorded this bloody once and for some reason the microphone was crackling the entire way through. I have no idea why, so let's try it again. Season 24 was the first season that I saw as a fan. The very first season I saw the whole way through as a fan. Now, I had seen Doctor Who before as a little kid. I mean, I remember large chunks of the Davison era, though oddly enough I don't really remember very much from season 21 aside from bits of Warriors of the Deep. I don't remember anything else from that season. I do remember a large chunk of season 22. But it was Christmas 1986 that I became a fan, so this was the first time that I sat down. It wasn't just on the telly, it was something I was passionately excited about and very much looking forward to. I had my VHS recorder, I had my blank tapes ready, and I was sitting there waiting for the BBC announcer at the start to press the record button. All very exciting. Now, and I loved season 24. I absolutely adored all of it. I mean, I was still I was still a kid, dude. It was new Doctor Who. This was a new Doctor that was for me, for my Doctor, my first new Doctor as a fan, but it was something that I actually cared about. Now, while Sylvester's still one of my top 3 favourite Doctors, I can see the flaws in season 24 now. I find it especially difficult to sit through Time in the Rani these days. But at the time, I loved it all. Now, one of my memories of season 24 was that we actually went on holiday during the last week of Paradise Towers, which meant I had to kind of set the video timer for that last episode, which was very worrying because, well, the slightest thing went wrong, the slightest power interruption or anything like that, and that would be fucked. And at that point, I didn't know any other fans. It would be like another 9 months or so before I would join my school sci-fi club and make some fellow fan friends. So, like, if it doesn't work, then I'm going to be completely screwed, basically. Fortunately, it did. We went on holiday to the Isle of Man, which was... Turns out it was the wrong time of the year to go on holiday to the Isle of Man because it was the off season and basically everything was fucking shut and there was bugger all to do. One of the most... But at the same time, it was very important because I remember on one rainy day in the Isle of Man when there was absolutely nothing to bloody do, we went into a newsagent. I think my dad wanted like a puzzle book or something like that, and I was looking for something, probably looking for like a movie magazine or something like that. And it was here for the very first time I learned of the existence of Doctor Who magazine. Seriously, I didn't even realise there was a Doctor Who magazine. And there was a Doctor Who magazine and a Doctor Who magazine special. It was, I mean, it probably would have been the November issue or something like that. 87. It was the one with the painted cover of Sylvester and 2 versions of the Rani on. And it was the autumn special of Doctor Who magazine. So, of course, I snapped both of those up and spent the rest of the day, if not the rest of the week, poring over them and reading them and rereading them and all the rest of it. And when we got back home, I immediately got my mum to set up a permanent order for it at my local newsagent. So that was the beginning of a tradition there, albeit one that's long since gone these days. I also remember season 24 was the first time I did what I then did for like the next 2 seasons, which was when the season was finished and I had them all on one tape. I had them all on VHS. I basically sat down and marathoned the entire season over the course of a day, probably on a weekend or during the holiday or something like that. I used to do that quite regularly back in the day, which seems completely insane now, but there you go. Of course, the end of the season, we also got a new companion with Ace. Now, at the time, it's strange. I didn't really care much one way or the other that Mel was leaving and Ace was joining. I was like, okay, because I was already inured enough to know that companions came and went, and it was like, okay, whatever. And I was still at that age when I wasn't quite old enough to, appreciate the aesthetic qualities of Sophie Aldred at that point. By the following season, I was, oddly enough, but in December 1987, or no, not quite there yet. It was just, yeah, okay, whatever. New companion, whatever. I had those VHS tapes for a very long time, so much so that I don't think I ever bought any of the VHS releases when they came. I think I bought Paradise Towers. Wasn't that one of the later ones, like possibly even early 2000s? I never got Time in the Rani. I don't think I got Delta. I don't remember the cover for that at all. Well, I certainly didn't get Paradise Towers. I mean, Time in the Rani. I didn't get Delta. I may have got Dragonfire, but I wouldn't put money on it because I mean this was a time when I had relatively limited money at the time, so it was like, why would I buy this unofficial VHS when I've got I mean I had them on Scotch tape, and Scotch tape was like the best there was, and they were still playing perfectly like 10 years after I'd recorded them. So it's like, I'm not buying them. I've already got a copy. I did, of course, eventually get the DVDs, and of course, I bought the season 24 Blu-ray set a couple of years back. So I've still bought them half a dozen times between them. Anyway, that's my ramblings of my memories of season 24. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this bloody recorded properly this time without crackling on the thing. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.